How old were you when you started surfing?
5.
5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Somewhere around in there.
Okay. How old were you when you entered your first surf contest?
6.
When did you get your first surfboard?
Ooh, that's a good question. I still have my first surfboard actually in my mom's garage.
Really?
Yeah. I was somewhere. I don't know if I had it yet when I did the contest. I would say like around 6. Yeah. So you could probably just keep it the same. I'm not sure. It was somewhere around in there, but yeah, 6 or 7.
Who inspired you to start surfing?
My uncle, Brian, that lives right down the street here. Yeah, my uncles, Brian, and I have a cousin in New Jersey whose name is Brian as well. They both kind of taught me. So when I lived in New Jersey for a little bit, my cousins would take me, and then when we moved here, my uncle, Brian, would take me.
Okay. What other things did you do when there were no waves when you were younger?
I was skateboarding a lot. Yeah, that's
one of his big questions.
Yeah. That's all I wanted to do. If I wasn't surfing, I was skateboarding.
Did you travel a lot when there were no waves here?
Did I travel a lot when there was no waves? Yeah. Well, I traveled to a lot of surf contests.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I tried to. When I was 12 years old, I went on my first trip and that was to the Bahamas. You know. So.
Abaca?
How did growing up in Redding Beach affect you as a surfer?
All good stuff because just growing up so close to the beach, I got to surf a lot, you know, and surf almost every day after school. After school, I'd just go straight to the beach and surf. So it was a great place to grow up and become a surfer. And there was a lot of good surfers around here too, so I had a lot of people to look up to.
I bet you went surfing in any conditions, right?
Oh yeah, always.
How has the level of surfing changed since you started surfing?
Around here, or just everywhere?
Here.
Here, yeah. I would say it's gotten better because everyone's kind of gotten better, and surfboards have gotten way better, and equipment and all that stuff. But when I was young, there was actually a lot of good surfers living here because they were going to UNCW. So a lot of guys came from Florida and Maryland. Just all over the place. Came here to go to school. So there was always a lot of good surfers around here.
How did you feel to be on the WSL?
Well, that was one of my biggest achievements in surfing. Was when I first qualified for the tour, and I was in 2001, I think. And, 2001. So yeah, that was that's what I worked for so many years to get there. So that was a big thing for me.
What was it like on the WSL?
It was tough. It's hard, but it was a lot of fun because I had a lot of friends that were on there too. So we were, young and got to travel and just travel with my friends that some of my good friends that I grew up surfing with. So it was a blast, a great experience.
Do you keep in touch with other surfers who were in or are in the WSL?
Yeah, all the time. I have a lot of good friends that are still on it, and then some that aren't on it anymore. But I try to keep in touch with everybody.
Who's a surfer who's on the tour right now that you are friends with?
There's, a couple of them, mostly the older guys now. But CJ Hobgood, I traveled with him for years, and he's still on tour. This is last year, but I probably talked to him the most, So.
What was your most memorable heat?
That's a hard one.
You're building up to the end there.
I gotta think about that one. That's a. I'm not sure. I think here. Most memorable heat. I would say probably at Sunset Beach. It was a WSL event. Oh, it used to be the WCT WSL event. And I had to get third or better to stay on tour that year. And I didn't get third. I didn't make. It's still one of my best heats because I ended up getting fifth in the event. And that was my best result I ever had on the WSL. But I had a heat 2 in a row where CJ Hobgood won the world title that year, and he's one of my good friends. And I took out 2 of the guys that were, it was the last event of the year to decide who was going to be the world champ. And I ended up surfing against 2 of the guys that were going for the world title that year and taking them out for CJ to win it. So
Nice.
there was, I think, I had a heat with Aki, and that was the heat. Yeah, that was the second guy. I took out Danny Wills earlier in the contest, and then Aki was the next person.
Yeah.
And I beat him and then moved on to the next round, but that was the last guy that was still running for the world title that year. So that was probably a big heat for me. And for a lot of other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Who is your favorite surfer on the WSL right now?
Oh man, favorite.
Putting them on the spot.
Yeah, I have a lot of favorites, but I would have to say John is probably my favorite to watch.
Him too.
Yeah, John and Kelly Stewart.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Those are my 2 favorite, but I'd say John.
Where is your favorite place to surf?
I would say North Carolina. I like the Outer Banks, and in here, it's home. I like surfing here, so it's probably my favorite place to surf. And then, other than that, I'll just add it. Micronesia is my favorite place to travel to. And surf. That's been one of my favorites.
That P-Pass.
P-Pass, yeah.
It looks sick.
Yeah.
Who do you think the most innovative surfer on tour is?
John.
He's just so relaxed too. Like his style is crazy.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
How do you train?
Well, I go to a place here called Cape Fear Sports Enhancement. So I train in there, and then I also do a lot of kite surfing, and that's a good way to train as well.
Do you still skateboard?
I don't much anymore. I mean, I'll push around a little bit, but yeah, it's an easy one to get hurt, so I gotta take it easy.
I'll never get on one again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see. In 30 years, you'll see. You won't skateboard either.
What is your favorite land sport?
Ooh. That's another tough. I have to think about that. I play tennis a lot, so that's another training thing, I guess. I play tennis quite a bit, at least. If the weather's good, I play 3 times a week.
Yeah. Where do you play? Right here?
If it's not too busy here, but Ogden Park,
I don't know.
yeah, has a lot of courts, and they have lights too.
Right.
So.
How has the way that you look on surfing changed from 10 years ago to now?
Now, what's the next word?
I mean, I would say it's changed quite a bit, the level and the stuff guys are doing. And 10 years ago, definitely people weren't pushing it as hard. And when you see them watching the contest of the box and stuff like that, it's
People getting hurt a lot more.
yeah, no, that's
Pushing them
yeah,
harder.
that's part of it. And then the big wave stuff, like 10 years ago, they weren't paddling into Jaws and all those places. So that's like unbelievable where they're taking it. 10 more years, I don't know what is going to be going on, but it's always changing and always getting better.
Who do you think is a contender to win the world title?
This year's kind of open, It's kind of it's still so early in the year that it's kind of wide open still. But I don't know. I think it's good because there's a good amount of guys that it's kind of anyone's game right now, But I would say. That's a tough one.
Yeah, this year's wide open.
Yeah, it's kind of wide open, but
it seems like if the waves are firing, Kelly's fully into it, and if it's not, he's kind of less a little interested. Which can't blame him.
Yeah, you never know what he's gonna
Right.
do, So I wouldn't say him because I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if he may just skip Brazil altogether.
Last year he got like a 10 and
I would say I'm just gonna say Mick Fanning.
Yeah,
That's where I'm putting my. Yeah.
he's probably the most focused right now.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone's going to catch up to Slater's world titles?
I don't think so. I don't think anyone will ever touch that.
If
But
anyone does, it'll probably be John or something.
yeah, I don't think anyone, even John, I don't think he'll be able to do that.
Maybe a once-off thing. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
11.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone will come along maybe one day and be able to take that. But even John, I can see him. He'll definitely win a world title one day. But I can see him winning a couple and then being happy, being satisfied with that.
Right. and then just wanting to surf good waves and not travel.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think's one of the best surfers besides you who lives in Wrightsville Beach?
Oh, I would say, my favorite growing up and still one of my favorites is Mark Hunt. He's a local guy from here, and he was always my favorite surfer from here, and still is. He doesn't surf that much anymore, but when he does, he's still got it. So I would say him.
Are there any younger surfers?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of young kids that are surfing really good. Man, I gotta picking one. It's hard.
You can't put him on the spot.
You guys friends with little Owen Moss?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think who else from around here. We'll just leave it at that.
Have you heard of Bo Rayner?
Yeah, Bo, and I really like the way Bo surfs, and Gabe Morville, and then Fisher Heverly, who's he's from Atlantic Beach, Morehead City, but he lives down here now and surfs really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen him surf, but he
You've seen
surfs
him.
really good.